Hey guys, welcome to Y&R Daily Update YouTube channel. Today's topics: Young and the Restless spoilers, December 4th, Noah loses, Victor wins. When fallout becomes a family tradition, there are days in Genoa City when the dramas feel so thick you could carve them into stone. And December 4th rolls in with the weight of an anvil for the Newman family, particularly Noah Newman, who walks into the day believing he can manage the mess he's made. But as every longtime viewer knows, no one manages a Newman scandal. Newmans survive them, get crushed by them, deny them, weaponize them, or sometimes do all four at once. That's how their stories become sagas, their scandals become legacies, and their missteps become unavoidable plot grenades that explode for months. This is the mood in the air, as spoilers tease that Noah is heading straight into the belly of the beast, and the beast, unsurprisingly, is Victor Newman himself. Because any time a Newman heir falters, the question becomes the same one Victor has been silently asking since the beginning of time. Are you strong enough to carry the name I gave you? And this week, Noah isn't measuring up. Noah's spiral. An old mistake with a new cost. Noah's latest mistake isn't the wild crime spree mistake that legends like Adam or Nick have made. It's not a business blunder, not a corporate coup gone sideways. It's not even a grand romantic implosion that tears families in half. It's something far more insidious. A character flaw that Noah had spent years pretending he doesn't have. Spoilers confirm that. Noah is facing the fallout of choices he's been making quietly, choices involving secrecy, emotional dishonesty, and an inability to face consequences head on. These traits aren't new. They've simply resurfaced at a time when the Newman family can least afford another son drifting into chaos. Noah wants to believe he's evolved into a calmer, steadier, artistic soul, a man who builds things, designs spaces, and leaves the chaos to his cousins. But this recent trap of secrecy, hinted to involve a betrayal that strikes at the foundation of trust with the people closest to him, exposes something uncomfortable. Noah still doesn't fully know who he is, and that makes him dangerous, not in the explosive Adam sense, but in the catastrophic slow burn sort of way, where one bad decision quietly swells until it can no longer be ignored. Victor watches and calculates. Victor Newman has seen this pattern before. Over 5 decades of watching his children and grandchildren falter, he has learned to spot the signs from a mile away. And the moment Noah's behavior shifted, Victor didn't just notice, he began planning, because Victor's love isn't soft. And it isn't soothing. Victor's love is strategy. When spoilers tease that this episode becomes a tale of Noah losing and Victor winning, it isn't just a simple plot beat. It's an entire generational lesson wrapped in soap opera silk. Victor does not lose. He does not relinquish control. He does not allow a Newman to derail the empire he built. So while Noah tries desperately to stop his situation from spiraling further, Victor is already 10 steps ahead, quietly shaping the final outcome. One that reinforces his authority, reestablishes his dominance, and leaves Noah standing in the shadow of a man he will never, ever outmaneuver. Noah's breaking point. When a mistake becomes a reputation, what hurts Noah most isn't the mistake itself, it's that people have expected better from him. Noah has always been the good Newman, the creative one, the mild one, the one who didn't crave power or dominance or inheritance. But being the good one comes with a trap. When you fall, everyone notices, and this time, the fall is public, messy, and impossible to ignore. The domino that started at Ulat, the core of Noah's crisis, is a moment he'll wish he could take back. Whether this moment involves failing in loyalty, betraying trust, letting jealousy dictate behavior, or retreating into the emotional immaturity he thought he'd left behind, the result is the same: a fracture. A fracture in relationships, in trust, in his sense of self. The spoiler energy going into December 4 makes it clear that this fracture has consequences, and those consequences ripple outward until they reach Victor, who immediately decides it's time to fix things in the only way Victor knows how: by taking control of the narrative, the fallout, and Noah's future. Nick and Sharon. The parental earthquake. Noah wasn't ready for Nick and Sharon may be divorced, but when it comes to their son sinking into quicksand, their instincts align instantly. Nick carries the Newman fire. Sharon carries the emotional intuition that sees through the excuses. Together, they represent the two forces Noah can't bear to disappoint, and yet has managed to. Spectacularly, Nick's reaction is frustration, edged with heartbreak. He's been here before with Noah. Too many times. And he's exhausted from trying to rescue someone who keeps insisting he doesn't need rescuing. Sharon's reaction is quieter but sharper. She knows Noah's pattern of internalizing everything until the tension makes him implode. She has been waiting, hoping he'd finally open up before things got worse, and yet here they are. Nick wants to fix it. Sharon wants to understand it. Noah wants to escape it. But the problem is that Victor wants to control it. And in the world of the young and the restless, the person who wants control always wins. How Genoa City reacts when Noah falters. Noah might have slipped under the radar if he lived in any other city. But Genoa City is not normal. It's a magnifying glass held up to human flaws. Every misstep becomes a headline, a whisper, a rumor, a judgment. Friends distance themselves. Employees gossip behind closed doors. Former lovers raise eyebrows. Extended family members begin choosing sides. Even people who barely interact with Noah suddenly have an opinion about him because a Newman scandal draws oxygen like a wildfire. Noah feels it all. Every word, every whisper, every glance. That pressure is exactly what pushes him deeper into the mistake he's already made. And Victor is counting on that. The Victor effect. How the mustache wins before the game even starts. Spoilers say Victor wins. It isn't an exaggeration, it's a universal truth that has defined the series for decades. But what makes this December 4th storyline gripping is the method by which Victor wins. Because this time, Victor doesn't destroy an enemy, he reclaims control over one of his own. Identify the weak link. Victor sees Noah's crisis and immediately recognizes it for what it is, not a personal failure, but a corporate liability. Newmans don't get to have private scandals. Their private scandals become weapons for their enemies, and Victor Newman does not tolerate vulnerabilities. He begins by quietly gathering information, listening to whispers, and connecting dots long before Noah realizes how much trouble he's in. By the time Noah confesses the truth or is confronted with it, Victor already knows the entire story. He just needs Noah to say it out loud. Reassert Newman dominant. Spoilers suggest that Victor moves swiftly, decisively, and without hesitation. He steps in not just as a father figure, but as the titan of Newman Enterprises, the man who has always controlled the chessboard. Victor does what Victor always does. He restructures authority. He dictates consequences. He assigns blame methodically. He pulls strings behind the scenes. He eliminates threats before they surface. He reminds the entire family who the true leader is, and when he's done, there's no ambiguity about it. Victor has regained control. Noah is sidelined. The family is stabilized. The empire stands. The inevitable lesson. Victor's version of a pep talk is never soothing. It's never gentle. It's certainly never fatherly. But it is truthful, painfully so. He tells Noah, directly or indirectly, you want to be part of this family's legacy. Earn it. You made this mess. Then you accept the consequences. You want your life to mean something. Then act like a man worthy of the Newman name. It's harsh, it's cold, it's effective. Noah walks away not just chastened, but fundamentally changed. Because when Victor sets someone straight, he doesn't leave room for misinterpretation. The empire strengthens while Noah cracks. This is the part of the story where the episode title becomes literal. Noah loses. Victor wins. Not because Victor wanted Noah to fail. Not because Victor enjoys humiliating his grandson. Not because Victor lacks empathy. But because Victor understands something Noah doesn't. The Newman family survives because Victor makes the hard decisions. Nobody else will. And today, the hard decision is sacrificing Noah's pride to preserve the family name. The aftermath. When losing hurts more than the mistake, the fallout isn't explosive, it's slow and suffocating. Noah is forced into a new, unfamiliar role, the family member whose actions required Victor to intervene, and that shame is devastating. Noah's internal collapse. Noah isn't a villain. He doesn't thrive in darkness. He isn't naturally destructive. He's gentle, sensitive, artistic, vulnerable. In ways he hates admitting, so when Victor cuts him down, even with precision and purpose, Noah feels the impact in a way other Newmans wouldn't. Nick would fight back, Adam would explode. Victoria would scheme, Abby would cry, then take action. But Noah retreats into himself. This is the moment viewers see him begin to question everything, not just the mistake he made, but his value in the family, his place in the world, and his future in Genoa City. Sharon becomes the emotional lifeline. Sharon, who has always understood Noah on a deeper emotional level than anyone else, steps in immediately. She doesn't judge him. She doesn't guilt him. She doesn't lecture him. She listens. She asks questions gently. She encourages him to feel instead of hide. She offers comfort without enabling denial. But even she can't undo the damage. Victor inflicted because this wasn't just emotional criticism, this was a branding. Noah was marked as unreliable, unsteady, not ready, and Victor made sure everyone saw that Nick's struggles between father and son Nick is torn in a way viewers haven't seen in a long time. While he disagrees with the severity of Victor's handling, he also understands why Victor stepped in. Nick has been on the receiving end of that same tough love, and he knows firsthand how effective it is. Even if it hurts like hell, he wants to protect Noah, he wants to support Sharon. He wants to avoid setting Victor off again, he wants to fix the mess. He wants to believe this is just a bump in the road. But Nick also knows the truth. Once Victor labels a Newman as a liability, it takes years to shake off. Even Adam sees an opportunity. Adam, ever the opportunist, senses the tension rippling through the household and recognizes the scent of advantage. He may not wish harm on Noah, but he certainly doesn't mind watching another Newman heir take a hit, especially if it means Adam can reclaim territory he's been pushed out of. This isn't cruelty, it's survival instinct. Adam has spent his entire adult life clawing for legitimacy, and any crack in the family hierarchy is an opening he can exploit. Noah's downfall is not Adam's doing, but it's certainly Adam's gain. Victoria, the observer Victoria, doesn't intervene. She doesn't offer comfort or criticism. She simply watches, storing this moment in that mental catalog she keeps of every family weakness, calculating how these events might influence future corporate moves or personal shifts. Victoria doesn't care whether Noah learns a lesson. She cares about how this affects her leverage. And she realizes something important. Victor is once again asserting himself as the unbreakable head of the family, which means Victoria has to be more strategic than ever. The Victor Newman endgame. Why Victor always wins. As the episode closes, spoilers suggest that the final moments crystallize the theme. Victor wins because he refuses to lose. It's not ego, it's survival, it's legacy. Victor doesn't just dominate situations. He shapes them until they collapse into the outcome he wants. Victor's perspective, the mind of a titan. To Victor, this wasn't about punishing Noah. It wasn't about control for the sake of control. It wasn't about dominance because dominance feels good. It was about preserving the Newman dynasty. He sees threats before anyone else does. He moves before anyone realizes there's danger. He neutralizes weaknesses the moment they appear to. Victor, Noah's mistake was a threat. Noah's avoidance was an insult. Noah's vulnerability was a liability. Noah's instability was unacceptable. So Victor course-corrected the family trajectory in one decisive, brutal stroke, and he feels no guilt about it, because Victor's entire life has been built on the principle that emotion is secondary to empire. What Victor wins? Victor doesn't just win the argument, he wins the narrative. He wins the family dynamic, he wins the power struggle, he wins the respect he demands, even from the people who resent him. By the end of December 4th, the Newman family is realigned. The threat has been contained. Noah has been set back in line. Corporate stability is restored. Victor's authority is unquestioned. And once again, Genoa City understands a fundamental truth. You don't cross Victor. You don't challenge Victor. And you definitely don't expect Victor to step aside. What Noah loses and what he might gain. Noah's loss is painful, but not final. He loses pride. He loses trust. He loses footing. He loses the illusion that he can hide from his flaws. He loses the respect he assumed was permanent. But he gains something important, a chance to rebuild without the pressure of pretending he's perfect. Because once Victor strips you down, he gives you two choices: rise stronger or disappear. And Noah Newman is not going to disappear. If anything, this could be the moment that shapes him into a more compelling, complex, and resilient character than he's ever been before. Final thoughts. A December 4th that echoes through Genoa City. This episode, fictional or spoiler-based, taps into what soap fans love most about The Young and the Restless. High-stakes family conflict, emotional realism, power dynamics, character evolution. Victor doing what Victor does best. It is a reminder that in the world of the Newmans, weakness is a story, strength is a requirement, mistakes are opportunities. And Victor Newman is always the final chapter. Noah loses today. Victor wins today, but this is Genoa City. No loss is permanent, no win is absolute, and the fallout from this day will shape the Newmans for months, maybe years, to come.